AFTV Julian, 1-1 in the end, 2 points dropped, but what did you make of the game? I mean, they have to say they deserved at least a point.
Yeah, I think they absolutely deserved a point, but then it's interesting that you said 2 points dropped, and you can view it as 2 points dropped.
It's 2 points dropped. Coming after the games last night, Manchester City winning, you want to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, it's 2 points dropped. If you look at it just in the scheme of this week, is that they've got 3 points, we've got 1, therefore I agree with you, it's 2 points dropped. But when you look at it over the course of the season, at the moment, we're still 4 points ahead of them, and we gained a point today because, as you said, they're a very, very good team. And I think the first thing we need to discuss is how good Brentford actually are. That they were tremendous. I mean, they've got a very little stadium, they haven't got much of a budget, but they're proving something that I've said for a long time, is that size doesn't matter. In as much as they shouldn't be able to compete, but they can. They do compete. They're a very, very good team. What are they, 7th now? They're competing for a European place, 6th. They're in a position where they're playing above themselves, and today they played above themselves, and Arsenal did compete with them.
Yeah, and listen, again though, is the worrying thing for you that Arsenal keep getting off to these sort of slow starts? I mean, the first half again a bit non-existent. Yeah, they came to life in the second half, but you can't just play one half of games.
Yeah, that's exactly the fear, because even though Brentford have played brilliantly tonight, when you look at it on paper, when you look at the amount we've spent, when you look at the individual players we've got, when you look at the manager and the experience that we've got, and the club and the infrastructure and everything that we've got against what they've got, they shouldn't be able to compete. And why did they compete? Because they tried harder than Arsenal. They started the game and they played the whole game with this enthusiasm, and especially in the first half, Arsenal didn't have the enthusiasm. I look at Eze. Eze's performance wasn't great, which is why he was hauled at half-time. But when you look at the skills that Eze have got, I saw a touch from Eze, it was just incredible. I couldn't even get it into my head how he did it, no matter about trying to do it myself. It was brilliant, but why can't he make that skill and translate that skill into a fantastic performance? And it must be something to do with the mentality. It isn't quite clicking for him. He's not an Ozil as much as that. Ozil had a massive amount of skill, but for me didn't put in any effort. He puts in effort, but there's something there that isn't clicking with him, that he can't translate that level of skill into the performances that he should be able to portray in the Premier League.
Right, so 4 points clear now. Do you look on it and say to because there were some fans coming out there very, very disappointed. There's some other fans coming out there saying, listen, we're going to get games like this. Where do you stand on it?
I stand on the fact that it's probably one of our more difficult games between now and the end of the season. We've still got a bit of daylight between ourselves and Manchester City. The longer it goes on, the more it seems to be coming down to that game at Manchester City where we're head to head. But someone came in just before and said, we've got to play Manchester City. But the flip side of that is Manchester City have to play us. Exactly. They've got to play us, and we've got the better of them over the last few years. So I think it's obviously, factually, it's still in our hands. But I think the performance that we put into tonight wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best, but it still sets us up to win the league.
Travelling to away games has never been easier, especially with Rocket Mobile.
Unlimited data, unlimited everything in the UK. When you leave the UK, it's 20 gig of roaming data. Life is very easy.
£16 a month, no hassle.
How you doing?
You're doing all right. And this is what you get in Europe.
Hello. Tony Ellis.
Come on, like. Thank you so much.
You're the man.